So I heard you're looking to wise up on some drugs. Well, stick around because I'm gonna give you the definitions to 8 more drugs in this part 3 of the 300 most prescribed medications in the US.
Tune in as Interpret Your World's co-founder, Juan Prieto, talks about the highlights of his workday as a professional medical video remote interpreter. If you are aspiring to learn something new and gain insight into what the world of medical interpretation is really like, then you've come to the right place. Follow along as Juan talks not only about his success, but the daily challenges he has to overcome to become a better interpreter each and every day. This is Unwind Sessions with Juan Prieto.
So hello, and welcome to the first Med Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. So happy first of the month. Yeah. To anybody that I don't even remember how that song goes, right? The Bone Thugs and Harmony. Anybody remember them? It's the first of the month. I don't remember what else it says. I haven't heard that song in like over 10 years. But anyways, you don't care about that, right? You're here for the highlights. And I do have some highlights today. Today, I already said the day, Wednesday, September 1st, 2021, Med Wednesday. I took a total of 22 sessions, like always, a mix between audio and video sessions. Surprisingly, there has been a lot of audio sessions. I got to chill for about a little bit over an hour on a session with a lady. It was a video session. They were trying to pull out an IUD and they couldn't. They spent the whole hour just trying to get that IUD out of that poor woman, and they told her that they were not going to be able to. They were just giving up, and they told her to come back in like 2 weeks to see if they could get it then. So it was a pretty good day. 22 sessions. I'm not complaining. I feel good. I feel great. And I have to remind you that you have to get your feedback. That is right. Remember that MIP 21 is already on YouTube, and we are giving you guys a chance to comment on that video. Once you comment on that video, once that video gets to 100 likes, we're gonna pick 2 comments from that video, and the people that made those comments, we're gonna send them exclusive links to MIP 22. We're gonna let them record their interpretations and send them over so they can get their feedback, right? So get your feedback from MIP 22, guys. We still have 73 more likes to go. We're still not even a third of the way there. 27 likes upon checking about 5 minutes ago. So get that comment on there and get your like. That way you can get your feedback, right? So let's get started today. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Well, yeah, I've already been started, right? But let's get started let's get started with the highlights because I missed that. All right, so I have 3 highlights for you today. One of them is a new word. The definition was obtained from mayoclinic.org, and this is the word. This is toxoplasmosis, and in Spanish it's the same, toxoplasmosis. And the definition says that this is a disease that results from infection with the Toxoplasma gondii parasite, one of the world's most common parasites. Infection usually occurs by eating undercooked, contaminated meat, exposure from infected cat feces, or mother-to-child transmission during pregnancy. Toxoplasmosis may cause flu-like symptoms in some people, but most people affected never develop signs and symptoms. For infants born to be infected, For infants born to infected mothers and for people with weakened immune system, toxoplasmosis may cause serious complications. So this was from a gentleman that had AIDS, so they were really worried about his toxoplasmosis. They, of course, he had a weakened immune system, so they should be worried, like the definition said. They just sent him to get tested. They didn't have any information on his toxoplasmosis because all the studies were done in Mexico. So he had to get some new studies done in about a couple weeks to figure out what was going to happen with that. And the same gentleman from that appointment, or from that session, I should say, he said that they detected his toxoplasmosis with a TAC. TAC, con un TAC. Now, I knew that was some kind of a scan, but I've never in my life, never have I heard somebody call it a TAC. And I just looked at him, and I knew I had to look it up, and the gentleman said, oh, it's an MRI. So I interpreted it as an MRI, but I knew it wasn't an MRI, so I looked it up, and then I saw that a TAC is tomografía axial computarizada. So that is just a CT scan, or a CAT scan, I should say, a CAT scan. And I told the doctor, I was like, I'm sorry, doctor, the gentleman actually said CAT scan. And the doctor said, oh, okay, not a problem. And that was that. We were able to get on with our lives. So yeah, that just came out of nowhere. And then when I saw it, like once I saw it, that it TAC CT, I was like, oh my God, tomografía axial computarizada. But I've never heard anybody in the world say TAC. So that was my first time ever. I popped my TAC sherry. Alright, so now I know. I'm never gonna forget that. You never forget your first, right? So yeah, pretty easy TAC CT, but it just completely, like, I was thinking it was like a I don't know why, a DEXA scan or something like that. There's another scan, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there is another scan that always gets me. No, I don't remember. I would have to look it up. But PET scan, that's what I thought it was. PET scan, TAC scan, but no, that's a TEP scan. So it just kind of confused me because I had never heard it before, and it was just so obvious and easy, right? So I felt bad, but it just rolled off the top of my head. All right, and that was that. What else am I gonna do? All right, and for the last highlight comes from a place where they round the baby's head, right? If the baby's head is lopsided, or if they want that Mayan look, you know, like they press the forehead. By the way, Mayans used to do that. Like instead of having a nice round head, they wanted to have like this thing pressed. They wanted to have a big old forehead like my hands, like this. If you don't believe me, look it up. And they thought it was like a thing of beauty. So in the past, we're trying to give big foreheads. Now we're trying to give round heads. As you can see, my head's not rounded. I could probably do that TikTok thing, and then you could see the big old lopsided thing just flip around as I flip one side of the face to the other, right? So I'm probably talking too much. But we still have a lot of time. All right, and so this lady was there. It was an audio session. I didn't get to see them or anything. And so the lady said, but I've seen it because I'm a video interpreter, right? So I've actually got to see this process. And so what they do is they put like a stocking, you know, on the baby's face, like completely like that, like a stocking. And that's to see like the hair and the ears and everything. Like it just makes it easier for the person who's performing the evaluation to be able to see if there really is a change, you know, in the head from wearing a helmet or whatever they're gonna put on the baby's head to make it round or rounder. And then the lady, the nurse or the evaluator, I don't know what her title was, she tells the mother, she's like, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this little weird funny looking hat on your little baby. and he's gonna look just like a little bank robber. And I started thinking, I was like, why? Because he's Mexican? I'm sorry, but that was like my first thought. I was like, oh my god, why is he gonna look like a little bank robber? Because he's Mexican, right? But of course, I mean, there's bank robbers from all races, right? So just a little joke, trying to be funny. All right, and now we are finally to the part you are here to see, the 300 most prescribed medications in the US, part 3. So the following definitions were brought to you, well, they weren't brought to you, I took them from nhs.uk, rxlist.com, medlineplus.gov. So let's get started with this list, and remember we are on number 17. Number 17 is amoxicillin. In Spanish is amoxicilina, and the brand name is Amoxil. So amoxicillin is an antibiotic. It's used to treat bacterial infections such as chest infections, including pneumonia, dental abscesses, and urinary tract infections, UTIs. It's used in children, often to treat ear infections and chest infections. The medicine is only available on prescription. It comes as capsules or as a liquid that you drink. It's also given by injection, but this is usually done in a hospital. So amoxicillin, I am pretty sure all of you guys have probably taken amoxicillin in your lifetime. Some of you are not able to take it again. You're probably allergic. But I think other than penicillin, amoxicillin seems to me that it is the most common antibiotic, right? And you're gonna hear horror stories of mothers giving antibiotic to their children and just trying to make them better. By the way, you're not supposed to auto-medicate. So here I go with my rant. Antibiotics are only for bacteria, never for viruses. And unless you have any medical training, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to determine between a virus and a bacteria. So don't ever take antibiotics unless it has been prescribed by a medical provider. If you don't listen and you take antibiotics for any little thing, what you're going to do is you're going to create a resistance to antibiotics, which is happening right now in the world. More and more people have resistance to antibiotics. More bacteria, I should say, have resistance to antibiotics. And what happens when they try to treat them with these antibiotics? It turns out that these people have been building immunity for the bacteria, and it just doesn't work. Now we have a super bug, and they're pretty hard to kill. All right, so don't do that, guys. Please seek medical attention before taking any medication. All right, number 18, that is furosemide, and in Spanish is furosemide. The brand name is Lasix. Now, before I go on, I have to let you know that for a very long time I called this medication furosemide, and I don't know why that's what I heard. Flu with an L, furosemide, not furosemide. But now after making this video, I am gonna call it furosemide. So a long time, meaning like the whole time that I've been interpreting until today. All right. So it just goes to show you guys, medications names, like the names of the medications, you can keep them in English. They're it's not that important that you really learn it in Spanish, because the people don't really know the names. But if you know in Spanish, you're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're just gonna have that much more information, right? So furosemide or furosemide, Lasix. I've heard both names, furosemide and Lasix. And furosemide is a type of medicine called a diuretic. I can't remember if it was on yesterday's list or it's gonna be in tomorrow's, but or it was in another one. But it's used to treat Well, a diuretic is something that just makes you pee. Just I'm gonna define it if I haven't done so already. It's used to treat high blood pressure, heart failure, and oedema, a buildup of fluid in the body. It is also sometimes used to help you pee when your kidneys aren't working properly. So this goes a lot with yesterday's video. Diuretics are sometimes called water pills or tablets because they make you pee more. Furosemide is only available on prescription. It comes as tablets and as a liquid that you swallow. It can also be given by injection, but it is usually done in hospital. Furosemide sometimes comes mixed with other diuretics or potassium. So the reason why it comes mixed with potassium that I can remember right off the top of my head from being a medical interpreter is that whenever fluid is coming out of your body, like in excessive amounts, like this pill does, furosemide, it also depletes you of your electrolytes. So one of the electrolytes that this medication gets rid of is potassium, which you need. I'm not so sure why you need potassium, but you need it. And if it's too low, it's bad. If it's too high, it's also bad. All right. Number 19. Number 19. Pantoprasol sodium, pantoprasol sódico, and the brand name is Here it is, Protonix IV. Is that it? Yeah, that was it. All right, and is a prescription medicine used to treat the symptoms of erosive esophagitis associated with GERD. Short-term treatment of GERD and Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. Protonix IV may be used alone or with other medications. Protonix IV belongs to a class of drugs called proton pump inhibitors. So pretty much this is a medication to reduce the acidity, like it is mentioned there. Well, it doesn't say acidity, right? But GERD is basically gastroesophageal reflux disease. So that just means acid. Acid is coming up here a lot, and the erosion means that it's like, imagine well, your stomach is down here. Well, you can't see my hand, but your stomach is down there. All right. Now, your stomach has acid, and it has a protective layer that keeps it from getting decayed or eaten or destroyed by the acids of the same stomach, right? But what happens when the acid goes up into your esophagus, right? Your esophagus doesn't have that lining to protect you from its acid, so it starts to dissolve your esophagus. You can imagine the pain that could give you. So they give pantoprazole sodium to help people out with that. All right, and let me fix this. All right, so number 20 is acetaminophen, and in Spanish is acetaminophen or paracetamol. And the brand name is the all-loving Tylenol. Who doesn't know Tylenol? Who hasn't taken Tylenol, right? And so let me just define it for you. Acetaminophen is an analgesic pain reliever and antipyretic. I had never heard that word in my life before. Fever reducer, it means. Used for treating pain and fever associated with many conditions. Tylenol is available in generic form and over-the-counter OTC. This medication can also be prescription only, 1,000 milligrams per pill, and that is like the go-to medication for pain, either Tylenol or ibuprofen, which is Advil, Motrin. There's a lot of names for ibuprofen. So acetaminophen is the go-to medication, right, for every doctor, for every mother, as a fever reducer. And whenever you go to the IMSS in Mexico, if you're Mexican and if you're working and you have IMSS, which is like the medical care system for people that have Social Security or that are actually working for people that are paying that Social Security, and you get to pay it yourself. Whenever you go, you get a little box of acetaminophen as a gift. It doesn't matter what you go for, even if you go for because they chopped off your foot, you're gonna get a little thing of acetaminophen. If you go because you lost your taste buds, or your taste buds, you lost your taste, they'll give you that. You go because you want to get a yearly physical, you're gonna get a big box of that. So, and that might seem weird, but if you've ever been an employee and you were on their IMSS in Mexico, you've been to the IMSS, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. They just want to shove that acetaminophen wherever they can just to make you leave with it. Honestly. All right, so number 21 is prednisone and prednisona in Spanish, and the brand name is Deltasone. I've never had to interpret Deltasone. It's always been prednisone or prednisona, and this is another one of those medications that I was saying wrong. I thought it was prednisone. Prednisone. Can you guys hear the difference? Is pret a t, ne an e, prednisone, and it's prednisone. So that's something else that I learned today. So prednisone is a prescription medicine used to treat symptoms of acute asthma, arthritis, allergic reactions, respiratory illnesses, and many other conditions. Prednisones may be used alone or with other medications. Prednisone belongs to a class of drugs called corticosteroids. Now, this is a medication that gets prescribed a lot. I'm not kidding. I've had to interpret it for asthma, well, pretty much for all those things: arthritis, allergic reactions, respiratory illnesses. So this is like one of the go-to steroids for people that are having inflammation of some sort. That's like one of the first medications that they will usually prescribe, and they don't prescribe it long term because it can actually be damaging. All right, and number 22 is escitalopram oxalate, and in Spanish is oxalato de escitalopram, and the brand name is Lexapro. I've had to interpret. No, I've only heard Lexapro. I've never heard it called. I've heard escitalopram, but not escitalopram oxalate. So Lexapro is a prescription medicine used to treat the symptoms of major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. Lexapro may be used alone or with other medications. Lexapro belongs to a class of drugs called antidepressants, SSRIs. It is not known if Lexapro is safe and effective in children younger than 12 years of age. So, like the definition said, this is a antidepressant for major depression and generalized anxiety. All right, let's move on to number 23. Number 23 is fluoxetine hydrochloride. In Spanish is clorhidrato de fluoxetina, and the brand name is Prozac. All right, and this is used to treat, fluoxetine or Prozac is used to treat depression, obsessive compulsive disorder. This is bothersome thoughts that won't go away and the need to perform certain actions over and over. Some eating disorders and panic attacks, sudden expected attacks of extreme fear and worry about these attacks. Fluoxetine seraphim is used to relieve symptoms of premenstrual dysphoric disorder, including mood swings, irritability, bloating, and breast tenderness. It is also used along with olanzapine Zyprexa to treat depressions that did not respond to other medications and episodes of depression in people with bipolar 1 disorder, maniac depressive disorder, a disease that causes episodes of depression, episodes of mania, and other abnormal moods. Fluoxetine is in a class of medications called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It works by increasing the amount of serotonin, a natural substance in the brain that helps maintain a certain balance. So this is pretty much a medication to help you improve your mood, and it increases the serotonin, which is the chemical in your brain that controls your mood. A very low level of serotonin will have problems affecting your mood. All right, and it also helps with all those other things: panic attacks, mood swings, bipolar disorder. So it's a medication just for mental health, and it is used to increase the amount of serotonin in the brain. All right, and the next one is dextroamphetamine and amphetamine. In Spanish is dextroamphetamina or amphetamina. And this is a combination of dextroamphetamine and amphetamine, Adderall, Adderall XR, or Med-Wed. It is used as part of a treatment program to control symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, more difficulty focusing, controlling actions, and remaining still or quiet than other people who are the same age. Adderall is used to treat ADHD in adults and children 3 years of age and older. Adderall XR is used to treat ADHD in adults and children 6 years of age and older. Med-Wed is used to treat ADHD in adults and children 13 years of age and older. Dextroamphetamine and amphetamine Adderall is also used to treat narcolepsy, a sleep disorder that causes excessive daytime sleepiness and sudden attacks of sleep in adults and children 12 years of age and older. The combination of dextroamphetamine and amphetamine is in a class of medications called central nervous system stimulants. It works by changing the amounts of certain natural substances in the brain. So, I mean, just by looking at me, I don't know, you can probably tell that I probably have had some very interesting, let's say, teens to like 25 years of age. And I mentioned this because I thought that Ritalin was an amphetamine. I was under the impression, but I looked it up and it turns out that it's not. Why am I mentioning this? It's just that like about 10 years ago, 10 give or take, 10 years ago, I was at a party, and then this girl that I used to know, she walked into the party and then she told me, hey, I have some amphetamines. You want to do some? And it was a pretty boring party here in my hometown, and I was like, and it was Ritalin, and I said, oh, why not? So give me some, and then I took some, and yeah, I mean, I felt more awake, alert, and stuff. But no, I just didn't like it. I don't know how people that don't have that disease can just take it like candy and stuff. But I was under the impression that I had taken amphetamines all this time. So it turns out that I never did experiment with amphetamines in my life. So that's a big plus for me, right? But still, I feel like I've been cheated. I should go up to her and be like, you remember that time you told me you gave me amphetamines? You gypped me. But I didn't pay. They were free, so I guess it's okay, right? Alright, so now you know something about my wild 20s. Alright, so we have reached the end of the list today, guys. So we got to number 24 today. That's where I'm gonna leave it. So please leave your questions in the comments and I will answer some of them on the next session. Remember that if anything is time sensitive, let me know and I will get to that right away. Remember that I'll be here every Monday through Friday after work. And also remember that you still have a chance to comment on MIP 21 to get some feedback from us from MIP 22. So let's get on that, guys. And I know you want to get your feedback, but I accidentally pressed the button again. Sorry. Alright, and also remember that we have a Patreon page for as little as just $1 of your support. You help motivate us to create much more content, and we also give you access to everything in that page. All the medical practice videos are free, all of the scripts, answer sheets, vocabulary lists, and much more content. And most importantly, you will forever win a place inside of our heart. Now, who already has a place inside of our heart? Well, all of our Patreons, of course, everyone that has ever bought us a coffee, all of our subscribers, and you, yes, you that you are watching the end of this video. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and have not done so for much more content, and don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Unwind Sessions. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And if you learned something new today, it'd be great if you left us a review. You can also visit us on patreon.com/interpretyourworld or visit our website, interpretyourworld.com. Unwind Sessions.
If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, share this video with other beginner interpreters or anyone who can benefit from this information. Thank you all so much for all the support you guys have given us. This means the world to us. Don't forget, we also have social media. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. We also have an Instagram and the one I love the most, TikTok. We just recently got a Buy Me a Coffee, and also, if you guys didn't already know, we do have a Patreon account. If you guys would like to support us a little more, we'd love to have you guys over there. And as always, I will be posting all the links to these pages down below in the description box. Thanks for watching!